You should be receiving a couple handouts from us. If you haven't got all handouts from us, please let us know. Thank you. In this chapter, you'll explore answers to these questions. How does memory work? How can you remember what you study? What will help you remember math and science material? How can mnemonic device boost recall? What study strategies help you put it all together? How does memory work? Memory anchors all learning and performance, on tests as well as at work. The information you remember is the raw material with which you think, write, create, build, and perform day to day in school and out. Through studying, you build your memory and use it to move toward your goals. The information processing model of memory. Memory refers to the way the brain stores and recalls information or experiences that are acquired through the five senses. Raw information, gathered through the five senses, reaches the brain. For example, the time of a song you're learning in your jazz ensemble class. This information enters sensory registers, where it says for only seconds. Sensory registers are brain filters through which sensory information enters the brain and is sent to short-term memory. When you selectively look, listen, smell, taste, or feel the information, you move it into short-term memory, also known as working memories, which contains what you are thinking at any moment and from where information can be made available for further processing. Short-term memories is the brain's temporary remains for a limited time. Informational moves to long-term memory through focused, active rehearsal repeated over time. The brain's permanent information storehouse, from which information can be retrieved. As you practice a song in class and at home, your brain stores the tone, the rhythm, and pace in your long-term memory, where you will be able to draw on it again. There are no limits to how much information long-term memory can hold or how long it is held. This is how the information processing model of memory works. Long-term memory. The movement of information in your brain, from short-term to long-term memory and then back again, strengthens the connections among neurons, brain cells. Long-term memory has three separate storage houses: storage of procedural memory, storage for information about procedures, in other words, how to do things like ride a bike, drive a car, tie your shoes. It can take a while to develop these memories, but they are difficult to lose. Storage of declarative memory, memories of facts, concepts, formulas, and so on. These are relatively easy to learn, but are easy to forget without continual review. Storage of episodic memory, memories of events linked to personal experiences. Why you forget. Health issues and poor nutrition can cause memory problems. Stress is also a factor. Research shows that even short-term stress interferes with cell communication in the learning and memory regions of the brain. The most common reason that information fails to stay in long-term memory is ineffective studying. not doing what you should to retain what you learn. Retaining info requires continual review. If you do not review the material over time, you will retain the knowledge. If you do not review, the neutral connections will weaken, and eventually you will forget. How can you remember what you study? Your goal is to anchor important information in long-term memory so that you can use it for both short-term goals like tests and long-term goals like being an information technology specialist. To remember what you study, you need to carefully figure out and use what works best for you, when, where, who, determine the times, places, and company, or none, that suits you. What, why, choose what is important to study, and set the rest aside. How find the specific tips and techniques that work best for you. When, where and who, choosing your best setting. Figuring out the when, where, and who of studying is all about self-management. You analyze what works best for you, create ideas about how to put that self-knowledge to work, and use practical thinking to implement those ideas as you study. When. When the first part of when is, how much. For every hour you spend in the classroom each week, spend at least 2 to 3 hours preparing for the class. The second part of when is, what time. First, determine the time available to you in between classes, work, and other commitments. Then, thinking about when you function best, choose your study times carefully. The third part of when is, how close to original learning. Because most forgetting happens right after learning, the review that helps you retain information most effectively happens close to when you first learn the material. The final part of when is, when to stop. Take a break, or go to sleep, when your body is no longer responding. Forcing yourself to study when you're not focused doesn't work. Where. Where you study matters. As with time, consider your restrictions first. There may be only so many places available to you, within a reasonable travel distance, and open when you have study time free. Also, analyze previous study sessions. If you spent over 20% of your time blocking out distractions at a particular location, try someplace different. Who, group study. As you begin to get to know students in your classes, start now to exchange phone numbers and emails, form groups, and schedule meetings. Here are some strategies for study group success. Limit group size, set long-term and short-term goals, create study materials for one another, share the workload and pool note-taking resources. Know how to be an effective leader. The leader needs to define projects, assign work, set schedules and meeting goals, and keep people focused, motivated, and moving ahead. Know how to be an effective participant. Participants are part owners of the team process with a responsibility for and a stake in the outcome. Participants need to be organized, fulfill the tasks they promise to do, and stay open to discussion. One final part of who is dealing with who might be distracting. You may have friends who want you to go out. You may have young children or other family members who need you. Think carefully about your choices. Tell your friends why studying is important to you. Managing children while studying. Studying with children. Schedule. Give the little ones your schedule. Help know your schedule and arrange for babysitter if necessary. Tech is your friend. Study through tech. Phone, computer, email, Facebook, Google Docs. Preparation and activity. Allow little ones to play with special toys during your study time. Family time. Create an opportunity to go out so little ones may look forward to something and less anxious to do something. Managing children while studying. Studying with infants. Utilize baby boost sleep schedule. Study when baby sleeps early at night or in the AM. If baby sleeps late, make time in the middle. Study during nap times. Talk with baby boo. Recite what you've studied with your baby. Attended baby plus easy study partner equals high GPA. Stay close. Make sure baby boo is safe wherever you may be studying. Playpen, swing, jump seat. Study mode. Studying is like any type of sport or strenuous activity for the brain. So before you start you must get your gear equals what materials do you need to study? If you know it, don't study it. Why are you studying? Test equals important notes. Think mode. Purpose causes priority. If you know why you're studying you will increase focus. Study mode. Priority equals what do you need to know that you don't already? Release your energy on what you need to know. Review what you already knew last. Fatigue happens. Better to get in what you need to learn than to review what you know. Study mode. Goals equals where are we trying to get to? Evaluate all options, create a game plan, set goals to achieve your plan. Study mode. Example: Friday, Saturday, work 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, work 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Test Monday, when can I study? Friday and Saturday 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Sunday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. need sleep after. Game plan equals study, Friday, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Sunday, 7:30 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Goal equals study for at least 1.5 hours. Using study strategies. Purpose, intention and emotional connection. Brain response is different when connected emotionally and or with meaning. Friendly accounting. Using study strategies. Understand it. Utilize logical connections to help you learn. Having trouble learning new concepts? Apply how it fits into what you have learned. Quickies. Review times. Review equals increased memorization. Body readiness. Lack of sleep cause memory loss. Even if you sleep all weekend, Study before you go to sleep increases memory of subjects studied. Analytical thinking associates new info with the old. Try to relate all aspects and ask yourself questions to help understand what you learned. Using study strategies. Stay organized. Divide into sections, chunk, use tools, outline, timeline, etc. Study opposite subjects back to back to increase sharpness. Multiple intelligence strategies, Miss.
Dr. Howard Gardner is an American psychologist and senior director at Harvard University. He has received numerous awards and is known around the world for his theory of multiple intelligences.
The idea of multiple intelligences comes out of psychology. It's a theory that was developed to document the fact that human beings have very different kinds of intellectual strengths, and that these strengths are very, very important in how kids learn, and how people represent things in their minds, and then how people use them in order to show what it is that they've understood. If we all had exactly the same kind of mind and there was only one kind of intelligence, then we could teach everybody the same thing in the same way.
Let's take a look at the 8 unique intelligences Gardner suggests. How do you learn best? Perhaps you will identify with one or more of the following intelligences. Mozart, U2, and Michael Jackson all had an ear for music. Those adept at reading, composing, and playing music may possess musical intelligence. Meet the needs of this intelligence by incorporating song and rhythm into your classroom. Does architecture and photography interest you? Can you find your way with a map and compass? People who love pictures, puzzles, and maps are often considered to be spatially intelligent. Incorporate these elements into your classroom to meet spatial needs. Take a nature walk, watch tadpoles morph into frogs, or study the Great Barrier Reef. These are all great examples of how to meet the needs of the naturalist intelligence. Studying the natural world is how the naturalists work. Do you keep a journal? Do people say you have a way with words? Those with linguistic intelligence, or word smarts, may enjoy learning new vocabulary or investigating word origins. Get moving, do the robot, play a sport, or act out a novel. These are all ways those with bodily kinesthetic intelligence use their gifts. Considered daydreaming to some, critical thinking is the cornerstone of intrapersonal intelligence. This type of intelligence is useful in the classroom as students analyze essays and deconstruct arguments. Excellent listening skills, the disdain for injustice, and empathy are all characteristics of the interpersonally intelligent. Conversation with others keep these students engaged. And finally, once considered the main concept of intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence encompasses a love of problem solving and strength of math and logic. The advancements of science and technology will never be enough for this intelligence.
The How of study success. Build intention and connection, understand what you memorize, quickies, analytical thinking, organize, recite, rehearse, and write, flashcards, audio strategies, MI strategies, use your notes, sleep. Recite, rehearse, and write. Recite. This is when repeat key concepts aloud. Rehearse. This is similar to reciting but it is done to yourself. Write. This is similar to reciting but it is written down. How to do it. Look for main ideas. Convert them into something that is easily remembered. Quiz and check. Flashcards. Use them. They help you memorize important facts. Use e-flashcards or physical ones. How to take advantage of them. Test yourself. Review them frequently. Test yourself in both directions. Reduce the stack as you learn them. Flashcards. Other strategies. Audio strategies. Audio flashcards. Use podcast. Use your learning style. Use the information. How to remember math and science. Review processes and procedures. Do problems. Fight frustration with action. Work with others. Focus on learning style. Try to be as accurate as possible. How can mnemonic devices boost recall? Mnemonic device is a technique that uses associations and acronyms to link new info to things you already know. Create visual images and associations. Use mental walk to remember items in a list. Make acronyms. Uses songs or rhymes. Making a visual image, you can take information and make it into a visual picture and help improve memory.
Anyone need any help?
Me? I need help! Get the hell out of the way! Hi, help.
Okay, Dr. John, I think I'm a man of the people, but now thanks to the janitor, everybody knows I'm a fraud and I have egg on my face. Dorian.
Very funny. Perfect. Pretend you hate the nickname so it'll stick.
Who is this?
He's a doctor. I think it's Patrick or Paul.
It's Gwen, although she does have a mean case of man face.
Dr. Cox, I just want to throw this out there. It feels really good to be your student again.
Take that back, or I'm going to shove every one of these Polaroids down your throat.
Back to best friends it is.
You know what you should use? Mnemonic devices. Associate the person's name with something about them. I do it all of the time. Like this guy. Look at him. Now, there's no way he's ever going to make love to a woman unless that woman is dead. And dead rhymes with Ted. Ted.
That's how most people remember it.
What was your mnemonic device for remembering my name?
Do you really want to know?
Do I?
No.
I knew.
And action.
All right. He looks like a serial killer, which is the kind of cereal I'd want to stay away from, like Oat Bran. Brandon.
Correct.
Okay, Snoop Dogg attending. I saw him without his pants on once, and he has crazy skinny legs like French fries. French fries are sold to McDonald's, whose founder is Ronald McDonald. Ronald.
You saw him without his pants on once.
That's popcorn magnate Orville Redenbacher.
Yes.
We all want to be appreciated for our unique identities. Colonel Doctor. I call him that because he looks like that freaky Kentucky Fried Chicken guy. KFC makes coleslaw. Coleman Slosky. Incidentally, my favorite name ever.
That's correct. But you also lost the bet.
What are you talking about? I won.
Nope.
That's not fair. Nobody knows your name.
You know what that means?
Fine, you win.
Yep. And you know what that means?
It's like this ammonia is seeping into my brain and making me violent and angry and hateful.
Yep.
Mental walk. Mental walk. This is the strategy of storing ideas in key locations. With each place you go to, you find something that will remind you of a certain thing.
How to improve your memory with memory palace method. This technique is introduced in ancient Roman rhetorical treatises. It relies on memorized spatial relationships to establish order and recollect memorial contents. This technique is really helpful if you have a set of items that you have to remember. Step 1. Choose the pathway that you're familiar with. Step 2. Create the exact order of the route. Step 3. Remember the points of interest along the pathway. Step 4. As you imagine you walking on that path, put each item onto each point that you remember. Step 5. When you have to recall this set of items, just think that you walk into this path again. That will help us to remember this set of things much easier. That's it. Thank you.
Make acronyms. A word formed from the first letters of a series of words help remember the series. Example: bar, Britain, America, Russia. List order acronym. Acronyms that take the form of a sentence where each first letter of the sentence represents an idea. Example: my very elegant mother just served Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Use songs or rhymes. If you're trying to remember something, you can also make a song and put it in a familiar tune. Doing this will further increase your knowledge in all these different types of mnemonic devices.
The reason why rhyming or rapping any part of history or any subject will work is that you're personalising the information. If you can do that, you take ownership of it, and it stops being just a set of dry names and dates, but actually becomes your song.
You say you hate history, can't do names or dates. To you the past's a mystery, rather chill with your mates. Yet boys can name the England squad, girls know Katie Price. You all remember lyrics, your memory will suffice. So if you need rhyming to help you pass the test, I'll rap the history for you, guarantee you some success. My name's Nicholas II, I'm the Roman of Tsar. Empire's huge, it spreads wide and far. Be chosen by God, divine right of kings. The power, the glory, plenty of bling. It's 1914, World War I has begun. Should win this fight easy, but we ain't got no guns. Economically backward, industry's in a mess. Got millions of soldiers, yet they're weaponless. And so we keep fighting, yet we're losing the war. Thousands keep dying, but it's mainly the poor. So give the soldiers peace, give the workers bread. The peasants will get land, is what my April thesis said. All you poor Russians better listen to me. Join my Bolshevik party and I'll set you all free. My name is Rasputin, I'm the magical monk. I hear you seek children, but I'll make you look like a punk. Old Nick is fighting for his country's life. I'll drink all his vodka, I'll sleep with his wife. Name is Kerensky, I ain't the Tsar. We can't stop the war, we've come way too far. Not trying to hurt ya, be patient with me. Let's win the war, get democracy. It's April, it's 1917. Lenin's dissed Kerensky, it's something obscene. He's published his thesis, you've heard it before. All power to the Soviets, you know you'll hear it more. So give the soldiers peace, give the workers bread. The peasants will get land, is what my April thesis said. All you poor Russians better listen to me. Join my Bolshevik party and I'll set you all free. The thesis is working and the Bolsheviks grow. Do you remember my story? Try and stay with my flow. Cause we're in July now, still 1917. But Lenin's lost control of his communist team. And they attack the new government. To take down Kerensky was their new intent. Kerensky's not done yet, got some tricks up his sleeve. The army will support, though it's hard to believe. The Bolsheviks are in jail, the government is safe. But the problems remain, and the army's on his case. Now it's late September, and Kornilov attacks. He's an army general, hates Kerensky to the max. Kornilov wants to take the city back bad, stop fighting the Germans and attack Petrograd. The army all desert, they go and join the Reds, cause they love Lenin's slogan, want peace, land and bread. October now, Lenin's time has come. Revolution turned out to be easy and quite fun. Hardly any shooting and almost no bombs, cause Kerensky has no one and his army has gone. So give the soldiers peace, give the workers bread. The peasants will get land, is what my April thesis said. All you poor Russians better listen to me. Join my Bolshevik party and I'll set you all free.
Get onto YouTube, you've got all your favourite songs on there without the main lyrics, and you just take out the original and place in your own. Learn mine, that will be good, but if you can make your own, you're actually going to remember it. Cheers.
Create summary. When studying, create a summary of what you need to know. Use just main ideas to give a good overview. Make summaries by subject or topic. Example, chapter. Use your own words, easier to understand. Make simple and clear. Use words and pictures to help study. Color coding makes easier to read or read. Combine notes. Takes notes from class and the readings and combine them. This allows for a greater understanding of the subject. Condense to the essence of what you need to know. Less words equals less confusion. Always use your notes. You need to read them. Combine notes. Critical thinking. Find out what from the book will support the notes you got from class. Use study sheets. Allows you to rewrite your notes. Make neater and easier to read. Review. You need to look over your notes to understand them. Combine notes. Critical thinking. Find out what from the book will support the notes you got from class. Use study sheets. Allows you to rewrite your notes. Make it neater and easier to read. Review. You need to look over your notes to understand them. Hope you have learned all the strategies to memorize and study successfully. Keep the handout that was given to you. It will be helpful.